Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue sur Afrique 24. Décryptage de ce jour reçoit pour vous Dr Amany Asfour. Dr Amany Asfour est la présidente de la Fédération internationale des femmes entrepreneurs. Avec elle, il sera question de la vie de la fédération qu'elle dirige, mais aussi de l'importance du secteur privé dans le développement du continent africain. Présentez-nous la Fédération internationale des femmes entrepreneurs.
Well, COMESA Business Council, it is the voice of the private sector of the common market for East and Southern Africa, which constitutes 19 countries of the African continent and 500 million people. Includes the chambers of commerce, private sector foundations, union of industries, manufacturers associations, business councils. It is the voice of the private sector which is mandated actually to cater for the recommendations of what the private sector needs.
Quel peut être l'apport du secteur privé dans le développement du continent africain?
Well, the economic transformation of Africa has to be driven by the private sector. This is our major objective. But in order to, for the private sector to do that, we have to empower our African private sector, because this is the main issue of economic transformation of our African continent, value addition for our African raw materials. It's very important. I have a strategy, I call it the triad of empowerment, which is empowering our African private sector. It depends on three pillars, the three P's. The first pillar actually is the people. How can we empower our African people in order to start their enterprises, to grow their enterprises? That include, of course, women and youth. Very important to support also our small and medium enterprises, because within our African continent, SMEs are the backbone of our economy. So we need to empower them. The second pillar is the policy, which is enabling environment for our private sector in order to empower it. And one of the advocacy pillars we are really promoting is about to have a special certain percentage of all the government procurements goes to small and medium enterprises with local content, including women and youth. Of course, investment in scientific research and technology, which is a must for our economic transformation.
Comment les gouvernements peuvent-ils appuyer le secteur privé africain?
Well, the African government should put priority is the empowerment of the private sector. And to do that, how to have an impact on the daily life of our women and youth, the grassroots women, how can we have a system, an ecosystem, which promotes entrepreneurship, which promotes building capacity for our people. It's an ecosystem that African leaders should put a real plan in dialogue with the private sector, with the partnership of the civil society organization, which is a must for any transformation.
Vous êtes là dans le cadre du forum économique organisé par Djibouti. Est-ce que ces genres de rencontres sont des opportunités pour le secteur privé africain?
Well, entrepreneurship for women in Africa is very, very important. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, when he said, how can a football team play with half the team on the bench? It's very important to have a coordinated efforts within our networks and the governments to have women economic empowerment a priority. This meeting is very important, and I am glad that we are now celebrating the 110 years of the establishment of the Chamber of Commerce of Djibouti. And what is very important is that the forum is about regional integration. Regional integration agenda is on top priority, even among our African Union, the 26th Development Agenda, which is aiming with the aspiration of to having a prosperous, peaceful, integrated Africa driven by the citizens of Africa. Regional integration is very important. As the chair for COMESA Business Council, if we're talking about our intra-African trade and intra-COMESA, we are only having 22% of our intra-COMESA trade, with only $22 billion, while trading with the world is about $300 billion. So we need to increase our intra-COMESA trade by having more integration among ourselves, and this meeting is one cornerstone in order to achieve this, in order to have a real integration among our regions.